All right, picture this. It's 8:45 a.m. at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, Gate B12, and I'm standing in the aisle of Skyline Airlines Flight 223 to New York, holding a boarding pass for Seat 1A, first class, paid in full. But there's this woman, Karen Whitmore, perched in my seat like she owns the plane sipping champagne, her sleek brunette bob catching the light, her designer blazer screaming privilege. She doesn't even glance up when I say, "Excuse me, ma'am, that's my seat. I'm Marcus Grant, by the way, and what Karen doesn't know is I'm not just some guy in a sharp suit. I am the CEO of Grant Ventures, the firm that owns 70% of this airline." Oh, this is about to get real. Karen finally looks at me, her eyes scanning me like I'm a barcode that doesn't quite scan right. "There must be a mistake," she says, her voice dripping with that polite but not really tone. "I'm a Platinum Premier member." She mutters to her friend, loud enough for me to hear, "Some people always try to sneak into first class." That stings. Not gonna lie, it's the kind of casual jab I've heard too many times, the kind that assumes I don't belong, no matter how many boardrooms I've run or deals I've closed. But I keep my cool. Years of climbing from a community college scholarship to Wall Street have taught me one thing. Let people show you who they are before you play your hand. The flight attendant, Lisa, steps in, her smile tight, her tablet glowing as she checks the seating chart. "Let's see, Mr. Grant, you booked at 6 a.m., but Ms. Whitmore." As a Platinum member, she trails off, her fingers hesitating, like she's already decided who gets the seat. The air's thick now, passengers glancing up from their phones, sensing drama. Lisa calls her supervisor, Tom, who struts out like he's auditioning for middle management's Hall of Fame. "Sir," he says, barely looking at me, "we can offer you a great business class seat. Extra legroom, $500 voucher. Generous, right?" Generous? I'm holding a ticket for 1A, not a raffle prize. Karen smirks, sipping her champagne, and I feel that old anger bubble up, not the loud kind, but the quiet kind, the kind that's fueled me through every door that tried to stay shut. In row 3, a journalist named Emily Carter's already live tweeting this, her press badge glinting as she types, watching a black passenger with a valid first-class ticket get sidelined on Skyline Flight 223. This is wild. 5 rows back, a travel vlogger, Mia, starts filming for her 60,000 Instagram followers, whispering, "Y'all, this is straight up wrong." The hashtag Skyline Showdown starts buzzing, and I can feel the cabin turning into a stage, every eye on me, waiting to see if I'll fold. The captain, Jim Rogers, steps out, all crisp uniform and clipped words. "We need to resolve this fast, folks, or we're missing our takeoff slot." He looks at me like I'm the delay, not the guy whose seat was stolen. "Mr. Grant, the business class option's better than you'd think." Better? I'm not here for upgrades, I am here for what's mine. I've been through this before, back in college, in trading firms, in boardrooms where I was the only one who looked like me, always proving I belonged. But today's different. Today, I'm not just Marcus Grant, the kid who hustled his way up. I pull out my phone, open the Skyline Exec app, and let the biometric scan do its thing. The screen flashes, CEO Marcus Grant authenticated. Executive override activated. The cabin goes dead silent. Lisa's tablet slips from her hands, clattering to the floor. Tom's jaw drops like a cartoon. Karen's champagne freezes mid-sip, her eyes wide, searching for an exit that doesn't exist. "Ground hold," I say, tapping the screen. "Flight 223's not going anywhere until we sort this out." The app's voice confirms, "Ground hold activated. Departure suspended." I turn to the cabin, 50 passengers staring, phones up, recording history. "I'm Marcus Grant, CEO of Grant Ventures, majority owner of Skyline Airlines." I say, my voice steady but burning. "What you just saw wasn't a mix-up, it's how this airline treats people when they think nobody's watching." Karen tries to stammer an apology. "I didn't mean," but I cut her off. "Ma'am, you assumed I didn't belong because of how I look, not my ticket. That's not a mistake, that's bias." I turn to Tom. "You offered me vouchers to give up my rights. Where's that in the handbook?" Silence. Captain Jim's face says he's replaying his whole career in his head. Emily's live stream hits 10,000 viewers, comments flooding. "This is why I stopped flying Skyline." Mia's followers are sharing her video like wildfire, Skyline showdown, trending nationwide. Here's what's happening. I say, the cabin hanging on every word. Effective now, Skyline's changing. Mandatory bias training for every employee, top to bottom, with the NAACP and top diversity experts. Anonymous reporting for passengers and staff to call out discrimination, no fear of backlash. Ticket validity trumps status, period. And we're hiring a chief diversity officer to make sure this never happens again. I pause, locking eyes with Karen, who's shrinking in her seat. MS. Whitmore, you're banned from Skyline for a year. Use that time to think about what some people means. The cabin erupts in applause, not for me, but for justice finally showing up. Lisa, the flight attendant, is tearing up, and I soften. Lisa, I saw you hesitate. You knew something was off. You're getting a second chance mentorship to learn how to spot bias before it hurts someone. She nods, wiping her eyes, and I feel a flicker of hope. This isn't about revenge, it's about building something better. I tap my phone, lifting the ground hold. Let's get to New York, I say, with the respect every passenger deserves. As the plane taxis, the applause grows, and I know this moment's bigger than might's a wake-up call for every airline, every industry. So what do you think? Was this just one bad day on a plane, or is it a sign of something deeper we all need to face? Drop a comment. Share your story. Have you ever been judged like this? Let's talk about what justice really looks like.